What's up? Welcome to the next episode. This one I'm gonna do a little bit different than the last episode. Last episode was hella long, and I know it, and I knew it was going to be, but I still had fun, and I thought it was pretty informative for other people because I don't see anyone using this mod really. So that's why it's long. This one's going to be more or less the same thing. However, I do need to design a way to automatically handle all the different kinds of carts coming in, especially for like import, export, and export, because I need to know what needs to go in what carts. And believe it or not, it's actually not that easy with Railcraft. So that kind of sucks, but we will figure out a way to do it. Between episodes, I did a little bit of moving. I moved some of the rails, so now everything works as it I wanted it to work in the first place. um, but yeah, other than that, added this in. I made this too wide because I thought it just looked better. Give it some more space. You can do some more detail work, and then they merged to one here. But this is gonna be our main kind of highway going to anything down here or anywhere else. Really, this will be kind of our main highway, and everything can kind of splinter off of it from there. But yeah, we need to design a system to actually know what's what in here. And to do that, I'm actually going to go in creative because I have a feeling it's going to involve some creates, which I wouldn't do if I didn't have to, but I don't see another way, honestly. So between now, I will go. Here's what I'll do. I'll build it in creative, and then I'll come back, and then we'll kind of build it together so you guys know what's going on. Uh, but I've given myself a lot of breathing room. Probably not enough in terms of time. This is going to be painful. It's finally done. I've taken days designing this at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. As you can see, I did a little bit of testing here, figuring out what I could and couldn't do. Um, I'm just gonna go over the basics. And also, I remember in last clip I said I'd build this with you guys in our survival world, but I'm not going to. It's too complicated. It's much easier to explain here than in the survival world, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go over some quick findings that I had, so you guys can not go through my pitfalls. If you want rotational force as part of a contraption, you do have to supply it with a generator, obviously. That's the only way you get rotational force into your contraption that moves. If you want that for whatever reason. You also need to use electric motors from Create Crafts and Additions because the other ones, for whatever reason, those like randomly stop working. Even if they have power, they're not overstressed. For whatever reason, those randomly stop working. So you need these, and then these also have to be powered by a wireless charger because I've tried connecting power to it with this, with entangle porters, with what do you call it, flux points. For whatever reason, these won't become part of the contraption. I'm not sure if that's a config option or what, but in all the mods 9 at least in this version, it doesn't work. That's one pitfall to avoid and how to do it. Another pitfall I've noticed is that once you put a motor and a piston as part of a contraption, the piston just spazzes out. And eventually it'll just break. So really not sure what that's about. um, but yeah, so you can't do pistons. I was gonna use pistons. Ended up going with the rope pulleys. One interesting mechanic about rope pulleys that really helped this contraption out in the end is that rope pulleys will not push blocks. Obviously, they're not pistons. So if you have a block below whatever you're trying to lower, the rope pulley just won't do anything, and we take full advantage of that. What else do we use in the contraption that's notable? I think that's really about it. So I'm gonna get into the actual contraption itself. Here is this beauty. I went through a lot of deliberation, deciding if I should just make a redstone for all of this instead of using a computer program. But in terms of like lag, and for me at least, easy to make. Um, I do software as my day job, so this wasn't too bad. I've never used Lua this in depth or written this complex of a program. So it's kind of fun, but that definitely took a lot of time. I had to rewrite it a couple times because I was stupid and didn't test everything. And I found out like after writing 200 lines for this that uh, our pistons don't work in contraptions. So all in all, I got the program down to like 300 lines, I think. And then yeah, I'm not gonna really go into depth of the program or Computercraft in general here. Uh, but if you guys want a video about that later, I guess just let me know. And then so we have a couple of redstone integrators from advanced peripherals. Those are required for this to work. We have different clutches and gear shifts and other detectors and stuff, all connected using redstone links. For this thing right here, we need one. I think it was 10. We need 10 of these, and no matter how big or small you make this, you will always need these 10 and just these 10, and the rest can be just card detectors, which is fine. So let's actually get into the actual contraption itself. I will stop yapping. So for the meat and potatoes itself, we have a couple of things here. This isn't really needed. It's just me manually overriding the computer program and so I can test things. Um, so here is our power source, essentially that moves every contraption here. There are two different contraptions in this, and I'll show you them in a second. So this goes into here, which goes into a stress-o-meter. You don't really necessarily need this, more so just for testing and making sure we're not breaking or coming close to breaking. And it goes into a gear shift, into a clutch, so we can move this up and down and hold it. This goes into a chain drive that goes into a vertical gearbox that goes into this. So both of these gantries, or these gantry shafts, share the same clutch and rotation. So they will move together, and that's actually very important for this thing to work. At least the way I have it set up. I tried to minimize the amount of redstone and like maximize their impact. So initially I had a lot more redstone in this, but I condensed it down into a better design. And this is, I think, as good of a design as I can come up with, at least for now. It's good enough for me at this point, so I don't care anymore. Because, like I said, it's been a couple days. So contraption number one here is this gantry carriage here. We get up here, so we have from this redstone contact, all the way to over here is one contraption, and then we have another gantry carriage here that is from the gantry carriage and this gear shift and these links down to here, these item loaders. So yeah, those are the two um traptions. And basically down here we have a card detector rail. This will go to a redstone link connected to our computer, which will tell our computer, hey, there's a train here, start running the program, or like actually start doing stuff. Here we have our locking station, locking track, and this is actually where the routing card detectors will come down on top of our train. It'll look for it. It'll stop for a second. It'll say, hey, do I detect anything? No. Okay, I'm gonna go back up. I'm gonna move over. Next one come down, and it'll do that until it finds whatever train it's looking for. And when it does find a train from this, um, I have more code that'll execute the correct item loader will come down here, and then once it's down, this cart gets released to this item unloader. Uh, this is gonna be stationary. It'll be the same for every cart that comes through. I could, in theory, build another contraption somewhere, but not really, because this is as small as I could feasibly make these. Is too wide, and there's no way for me to drop down here anymore. And I'm just tired, and it works for what it is. Like I said, I only have it set up for I don't know if I said this actually. I have it set up for 6 carts. Um, so I could easily have enough filter here for 6 carts. Um, and this entire contraption's very modular, meaning or yeah, I guess modular would be the right word. Meaning that I have it set up for 6, but if you have like this set up here and these gear shifts and everything set up, you could extend these item loaders for as many as you want. So I have it set for 6, but you could have it set for 20 or 30 if you wanted. Make sure you have the space. So yeah, let's actually get this thing on, get this show on the road. So I have it running before. It's also a self-resetting kind of thing. So if I were to, for instance, let's say for whatever reason, like this thing is mid doing whatever it's supposed to be doing, and you for whatever reason log out or something like that, or the world crashes or whatever, this contraption will reset itself to where it's supposed to be and then restart. So if it's like in the mid, if a train's like in the middle here, you might have to manually send it off. But other than that, it manually resets itself. So I'll show you by moving it down. I think this is in our way. Why are you not moving? Why are you embarrassing me? I had the lever on the wrong block. There it is. But let's go ahead and move these somewhere they're not supposed to be. So there we go. That's my manual override. So I test this. And then let's go ahead and boot up the program here. So we need to run it. Right now I call it temp. I'll have it set to startup so it'll just run as soon as the world boots up. Go ahead and run it. We'll see preparing lane, retracting item loaders. So if any item loaders were down, they'll come back up. If any cart detectors were down, they'll come back up. And then if the gantries were not where it's supposed to be, it'll move back. It'll wait till it gets back. And then once the redstone contacts make contact, the lane is ready. And now it says lane is waiting for train. So let's give it a train, shall we? And then just so we know, I have no routing tables in here or here. I have one in the third one though, just for testing. And then if we go here, so our program is waiting for a train. We go ahead and run the train. Let it go there. Waiting for train. Extending cart detector 1. They'll detect it. They'll send it down. No train detected 1. Sending 2. Wait for it to get back. No cart detected. We'll extend with 3, which will have 1. It'll detect it, and then it will deploy the item exporter, the one that it needs for the carts. It'll release the train. It'll unload everything. It'll load everything if it needs to load something, and then it goes there and preparing to reset the lane. As you see, it retracted the item loader. And now it's moving back to the beginning, and now it's ready for another train. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Now you can see it's back to its waiting state of waiting for another train. And yeah, that's pretty much the program. Um, this looks pretty simple, but everything seems pretty simple, but I assure you it was not. This took many iterations to get it to look this compact. And only take 10 integrators plus however many you want. But yeah, it's definitely a trial. But I'm definitely proud of the way it turned out. Fully modular, like I said, you can detect as many trains as you want. Do this also. I know I could have just like made a huge train yard and just like split them off in like a splinter way. But then, you know, the train yard, if you're trying to get 20 trains, could become massive and just super wide. Whereas this just works. You can have one lane here, and all your trains can come down one lane, and it saves on space. All right, I'm back in the survival world. I haven't completely built it out just yet. I'm going and collecting materials. I got the redstone links, the integrators, and all that. I've dug out a basement here. I haven't built it out completely yet. All that good stuff. And I've kind of started building the contraption here a little bit, but I've noticed something. We need a lot of redstone for this, and for my future projects, I'm probably also going to need a lot of redstone. And we're nowhere near. Well, we are near. We could basically power a quarry. But I'm not sure I want to do that for redstone. For redstone, I think I want a quarry and a bee, just because I feel like we'll be using. I feel like at least quite a bit of redstone, again for things I want to do. So we might make a redstone bee, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and make a redstone bee. A redstone bee is pretty easy. It's just a glowing bee, which glowstone nest, glowstone, get yourself a glowing bee, and then a chocolate mining bee, and that's basically a honey treat on any nest, any one of these nests, and then you just gotta hope you get lucky. Breed them together and get a redstone bee. So I'm gonna get a redstone bee together, and then going to give it a nest and upgrade over in the beehive over there. And yeah, I just wanted to do that. So you guys don't think I did stuff without you guys. And I also upgraded our jetpack. We now have a emerald jetpack because when I was trying to build, I realized we had a gold one, and that one would slowly lose altitude as I'm working. But now I stay still, so that's good. Let the record show that I haven't killed an actual villager yet, but we just got the achievement for killing 50 villagers, which means it's 50 wandering traders. And we are in our survival world, as you can tell from last clip. But I've finally done it. I took my sweet time doing it. I know this episode's coming out way past the other one. I really thought I left myself enough time, but did not. Not even close. So it it looks the way it looks. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's some work of art. It's definitely not. I'm not the best at building. However, with a cramped space we have, I'm not sure how much better I can make it look, other than like giving it steel scaffolding and making it look like just an open kind of like a train station kind of contraption. Like it's not supposed to look fancy. It's metal. It's quick, dirty, gets the job done. Our export lane set up, and our import export lane is set up. I've tested it out. It does work. So that's all cool, well and good. What else have I changed since then? Also added our lane here. Added our fluid loader and item loader for refueling our whatchamacallit things. And I don't know, there's something weird with this fluid loader. If you put it one block above, this rail always stays active. But if you put it two above, it doesn't. So I'm not really sure if it'll work or not. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait until a train comes through that needs to be refueled. Also need to added a 3-second pulse extender here because that's just what was needed to let the train get through. This is the best way I could do it. Another lesson I've learned from doing this is I don't even know why I built the train station first before I did anything. I should have built the logic I needed to and then built around it. That's usually the way I do things, but for some reason this time I just didn't. So I'm not really sure why I did that way, but I will never do it again. I say that, but I already knew not to do this, and I did it anyway. So yeah, our station here is set up, and our computers are downstairs. So I think this was just testing things out. I can get rid of this now. We come down here. If I have a mega torch, I have a camouflaged elevator. And if we come down here, we have our basement for this place. Not complete. I mean, the building itself is pretty much complete. However, we have to do some more logic down here. So we have both computers here. One is for our import-export, one just for our export. The same program works for both. I will leave the Pastebin code in the description below. Kind of need to know how to code in Lua, at least like a little bit. You'll have to rename some stuff, but you can pretty much take this logic and take that create contraption, and you can pretty much recreate it in your world, and it should work for either. However, this I'm just saying this now. You also have to. You should just need to rename stuff, and as long as you built your create contraption the same exact way, it should work. Do not come in my comments asking me questions like, "Hey, I set up my create contraption completely differently than you did, and the program's not working." Don't do it. I'm not going to answer. With that, I added some top hats to these computers. They're industrial alarms. So if it goes through, let's come up here. If it goes through every single cart detector and it doesn't find a train down here, what it will do is it will set a redstone output to the top of this computer, and that will sound this industrial alarm, which can be heard very, very far away. So there's that. These logistical transporters are coming from the item unloaders. So anything we unload, we take down here, put it into this, and then this will go to our base. I didn't want to have to use ender chests here, I wanted to use create conveyor belts to do everything because I thought it would look a lot more cool. But I realized after building that, we have no room left. So even if I wanted to use create to like get everything out and move it all around, there's just not enough room left here to do that without making everything completely messy and completely unwalkable. Like it's already kind of cramped as it is. Like I have these 3 blocks here, and that's about it. Like I can't stand here. I'll stop trains. I gotta get rid of the bridges. Um, so yeah, I think we're pressed for space as it is. So maybe next time in another project I'll use the conveyor belts. But for this one, we have to use ender chest just because we're out of room. There is some more logic that needs to be done for this train station, but we'll hit up that in just a second here. Let's see, what else did I do? I had a little fluid trash can here because we have too much creosote. I might just start getting rid of all of it, but as you can see, we're filling up on creosote now. Oh, these things are full, and that's why they're not working. Okay. um, so there, I have this emergency pipe here. There we go, and then you should start losing. There we go. And yeah, it's moving. So we're trashing our creosote. We have no use for it really. We have enough wooden ties for a little bit, or rails, I guess. We have enough of those and wooden ties and stuff for a little bit, so I'm not too worried about it. And things we have left to do on the train station is get a constant source of coal blocks coming over here. That's for another episode completely. Another thing about this that's changed. Nothing else has really changed. Everything else is how I showed in the creative world. And then for here, we'll need to have some way to get items into here. And what I'm thinking is we're going to use modular routers. It just seems like the best so that because the way that they'll do it, like if we use normal pipes and stuff, once this moves over and sets, those pipes will start inputting random shit into our loaders, and we don't want that. So I think if we tie our modular routers to a certain block, it'll do it. And if it doesn't follow the block, at least we'll have to see how to do it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not totally sure if it holds a block or a spot in the world. Hopefully it holds a block, not too sure. Otherwise, we'll have to get more redstone going here, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Not too bad. And then I finished out the rest of this track. Nothing crazy changed. But I just added our stations here. So now our stations are functional. The redstone bee I told you guys about, and then the glowstone. That's just a glowstone bee I added just because you have to have glowstone bees to make redstone bees. So I figured might as well use the glowstone bees since we have them. So we did that, and from here we're just gonna unload everything into our carts. Right now they're full because I haven't sent a cart over here yet. I haven't started the train station yet. They'll come over here, load everything they can. There's 2 here. I guess you don't really need to. We could just use 1. But oh well. We have 2. I don't know why I used 2 loaders, now that I think about it. But you can't use both of them at the same time. Only 1, so I don't know. We have 2 loaders. That's all that matters. So that's that one. And then pretty much the same thing over here at our reactor. Have an item unloader and an item loader. So this basically just does moving all the matching items. So it only removes uranium out of here. And then this one, why is this over here? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. We need to get this down to 1. So then we only move cyanite into this one here. Not sure why that buffer happened, but so only cyanite gets moved into here. And then we only will, or do we need that? No, I think this is wrong. So I was right the first time. I'm always right. So our uranium will get not unloaded here. Will get unloaded, sorry. So our uranium gets offloaded here, put into our controller. And then from here, we have a modular router in there to pull it out. Because again, running low on space and looks at this point. Not so much space here, but more so looks. And then this one will load. And then we want to load in here. In this case, it's just cyanite. And then it will come out and take it to the base. and everything will take over from there. But yeah, I think that's really. I need to add in another offshoot here to like create trains and put them on the track and stuff. But I think that's. I'll do it on my own time. Nothing really crazy for you guys to see. But yeah, I think we're right about we're approaching time. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the stuff done for the loaders in this episode, and I don't want to do another drug out episode. I really just want to cover Railcraft and create together because I noticed I searched like Railcraft videos, and my last video that I put out is like one of the first ones that comes up, and the rest of them are from years and years ago, which is insane. So I wanted to give some more love to Railcraft in this video, and probably between episodes I will probably set up the loader system and then I'll walk you guys through what I did there. But I might do that or I might just do a real quick thing because I don't want to spend too much more time on the train station itself. I think we spent a lot of time on it. So I kind of want to get in the flow of other things, more quality of life stuff. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll just build it between episodes and then do that and then also build that pull off right there as well. And I'll walk you guys through all that in the next episode. But hope you guys enjoyed. Really enjoyed kind of putting this together. So there were a lot of iterations, like I said, and it was pulling my hair out at times. And there were easier ways to do it. There were probably more compact and elegant ways to do it. But damn it, I made it all myself. And this is my first real venture into create. So I'm not mad at it. It works well. Everything's my own design. I didn't look up anything. So I'm happy with it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, so I put a text in earlier in the video. If you saw it, you saw. If not, leave. But um I found out I don't know why I did it this way. I put the rope pulleys this way. I could have just put them all side to side, facing the other way, and that would have probably been able to save me this extra pillar here, and just stack it on top of each other like that. So that's one way to make this slimmer. And if I made it slimmer, I probably could have also moved the item unloaders here to this row here because I would have just taken up one row and it would have been a little more slim, but I'm tired. I don't care. It works for me. If you want it to work for you, just do it that way, and then you'll have to add 2 more redstone integrators that have room for a gear shift and a clutch, and then basically just take whatever you did here and just copy paste it here, but instead of item unloaders or instead of item loaders, put item unloaders. And that was how you can probably get all 3 to work together. I haven't tested it. It sounds like it should work. It might not. Who knows? Good luck.